Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. The theme of our class today is going to be Liberate and Transform. So often we can kind of get stuck in routines or stuck in uncertainty and unknown or a feeling of lack or not enough. And today we're just going to take some poses that will help us to liberate parts of the body, open up parts of the body, and transform into some new shapes, into some new breath, into some new visions for ourselves. So my reading today says, remember, beautiful soul, that we do not create abundance. On the contrary, abundance is already there, flowing freely from source to all, available at any given moment. What we tend to create are blockages to that natural, ever-flowing energy. Give yourself the time to sit in peace, breathe deeply, and tune back into that beautiful, infinite energy stream. Notice thought patterns that hold the vibration of scarcity or fear, and without judgment, simply allow them to pass. So that's what we're going to focus on today in the class, is letting go of anything we've been carrying. We're going to liberate ourselves with some breath, with some movement. We're going to tap into that abundance that is always available for us if we just open up, sit and breathe and let it come to us. So let's get started on our backs. Let's start with the knees bent, feet on the floor. Just adjust the shoulders. Palms are up, so we're going to be open to that abundance. We're going to open the heart, open the chest, and just slowly let the knees rock a little side to side. So just loosening up the hips, loosening up the low back. Feel the feet connected with the mat, and even more so connected with the earth. So a little grounded feeling in the feet. Let the breath just flow freely through the body. Just observe the breath. Where is it moving? Where are you feeling the breath? Try to deepen it. Try to expand it. Try to lengthen it and slow it down a little bit as we just gently rock the knees and hips side to side. Notice if one side feels different than the other. And without judgment, just make a mental note. Oh, that's interesting. Let's bring the knees to center. Good. Inhale. With your exhale, bring the right knee into the chest. We'll hug the knee. Couple big breaths into the low belly. We'll stretch the right foot up to the ceiling. Circle the right ankle in one direction, nice and slow. Circle in the opposite direction. So we're just warming up the ankle, the foot, the leg. Let's point and flex the right foot. Keep the right foot flexed. Inhale. With your exhale, bring the right knee into the chest. Inhale again. With your exhale, lift your head up towards the right knee. Shoulders down, neck long. You can always bring one hand behind the head if you want a little support. If it feels okay to the body, left leg can stretch out. If you stretch the left leg out, we're lengthening through the left leg all the way through the bottom of the left foot, left toes up towards the ceiling. Big breaths into the low belly. Inhale, lower the head. We'll bring right foot to the mat. Bend both knees, both feet on the floor. We'll rock the hips side to side a couple times. Bring the knees to center. Inhale. With your exhale, left knee comes into the chest. Hug the knee. Tuck the chin slightly. A couple breaths here. Stretch the left foot up to the ceiling. We're going to circle the left ankle in one direction. So now warming up this foot, this ankle, this left leg. Let's take those circles in the opposite direction. Point and flex the left foot. Keep the left foot flexed. Inhale. With your exhale, bring the left knee back into the chest. Inhale again with the exhale, lift your head up towards the left knee, shoulders down, neck long. You can support the neck if you like, and if it feels okay, right leg stretches out on the mat. Keep the waistline pressing towards the floor, belly button pulling down towards the mat. If you stretch that right leg out, you're going to lengthen through the right leg all the way through the bottom of the foot. Big, slow breaths into the low belly. Inhale, lower the head. We'll bring the left foot to the mat. Both knees bend, both feet on the floor. Let's rock the hips side to side. Bring the knees to center. Inhale, with your exhale, both knees come into the chest. Hug the knees, and then we're going to roll side to side. So shoulders and hips roll side to side. So just getting a massage in that back body, shoulders, the back ribs, the low back. Bring the knees to center. Stretch both feet up to the ceiling, feet hip width apart. Feet are flexed, so just let the legs stretch here. Just feel the legs working to keep the feet lifted. Keep the belly button pulling down towards the floor, so we don't want to arch the back away from the mat. And we'll take some yoga walks now here. One knee bends, opposite foot stretches up to the ceiling. Working the legs. Keep that waistline pressing down towards the floor. Bring both knees back into the chest, feet are flexed, we'll hug the knees. Inhale, with your exhale, lift your head up towards the knees, shoulders down, neck long. So try to compress the belly with the thighs and take big breaths at the same time. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears, so we don't want those shoulders crowding the ears. Don't let those shoulders roll down towards the mat. Big, slow breaths. Inhale, lower the head. Use your abdominals, don't let the back lift away from the mat. And we're gonna bring feet down to the mat. They can come down one at a time, so you're using your abdominals to control that movement. Very nice. Once the feet are down on the mat, separate them a little wider than the hips, and we'll rock the hips and knees a little side to side. Good, bring the knees to center. Walk the feet in a little closer, so feet are going to be hip width apart. Walk the feet back towards the hips. We're going to take a little pelvic tilt. So inhale, press the tailbone down into the mat, and your waistline is going to lift up. And then exhale, press your waistline down, pull the belly button down towards the floor. So we'll go back and forth between those two. Inhale, tailbone presses down, waistline lifts up. Exhale, waistline presses down, tailbone curls up, but we're not lifting the hips. So inhale, tailbone presses down, exhale, waist presses down. So nice and slow between those two movements. Tailbone pressing down on the inhale, waistline pressing down on the exhale. So this is excellent to loosen up the hips, loosen up the low back, to liberate that low back, liberate the hips, strengthen and transform the spine, transform that energy to radiate all the way up and out of the body. Good, come to neutral. We're going to work the hips a little bit. So we're going to go into a figure 4 pose. We're going to bring the right ankle to the left knee, right foot is flexed, that's going to protect our right knee. And then we're going to move the right thigh away from you. So you can take your right hand and press the right thigh away, or it can just move away on its own resistance to the left leg. So we don't always have to use the right hand to press it away. We can just use that resistance against the left leg. So we're going to feel this probably in the front or side of the right hip. So just see where you might feel it. Couple breaths here. Keep the right ankle where it is. Inhale, with your exhale, both knees come into the chest. We'll take the hands, wrap them around the back of the left thigh. Use the right elbow to press the right thigh away. Both feet are flexed. So now we feel that stretch on the outer right hip and thigh. The closer the knees come in, the more intense it gets. The further they move away, the less intense it becomes. So find that just right spot. You can also hold left leg with left hand and right leg with right hand. So if that works better for you, perfectly fine. Big breaths. Wherever you feel it the most, we're going to try to visualize that breath moving right to that part or those parts. Use your abdominals, use your core. Don't let the back arch. We're going to bring that left foot down to the mat. Keep the right ankle where it is. We're going to go into a one-legged bridge. So arms are going to be down by your side. Maybe walk that left foot back towards the left hip just a little closer. Arms down by your side, palms up. Inhale. With your exhale, press your waistline down into the mat. And then on your inhale, lift up nice and slow, one vertebra at a time. Keep the right foot flexed. Keep that right knee opening away, or the right thigh opening up towards the ceiling. The backs of the arms pressing into the floor. Belly is nice and soft. Don't let it puff up. Big breaths. Press the tops of the shoulders into the mat. Inhale. With your exhale, lengthen and lower down nice and slow, one vertebra at a time. Once your hips are down, we'll bring the right foot down to the mat, hug both knees into the chest, and we'll roll side to side a couple times. Just kind of roll out that low back and the shoulders. Bring the knees to center. Use your abdominals. We're going to bring feet down to the mat. Good. Readjust. Get even. Hips and shoulders even on the mat. We're going to do that all on the left side. So left ankle to the right knee, left foot is flexed. We're going to move that left thigh away. So you can take the left hand and press the left thigh away, or it can just move away on its own resistance to the right leg. So now we probably feel this stretch in the front or side of the hip. See where you might feel it. Wherever you feel it, send some nice breaths to those parts. Good. Keep the left ankle where it is. Keep that left knee moving away from you. Inhale. On the exhale, bring both knees in, and we can wrap the hands around the back of the right thigh and use the left elbow to press the left thigh away. Both feet flexed. So now we're feeling the stretch more on this outer left hip, thigh, glute area. Remember, the closer in the knees come, the more intense it comes. And the further away they go, it decreases that intensity. So just find that just right spot. Wherever you feel it, try to visualize breath moving to that area. Inhale, and we're going to bring that right foot down to the mat, nice and slow. Control the motion. We're going to go into a one-legged bridge. So walk that right foot maybe just a little closer to the right hip. Arms at your side, palms up. That left knee moving away, left foot still flexed. Inhale first, exhale, press your waistline down into the mat. Inhale, lift up one vertebra at a time, nice and slow. Keep opening that left knee away from you. Backs of the arms press into the floor. Tops of the shoulders press into the floor. Belly soft. Big breaths. Nice and slow. Inhale. And with the exhale, lengthen and lower down. One vertebra at a time. Nice and slow. Then we'll bring that left foot down to the floor. With both feet on the floor, we'll rock the hips side to side. Very nice. Knees come to center. Inhale. With your exhale, bring both knees into the chest. So keep those knees hugged in. We're going to bring the right knee away. And then exhale, bring that right knee in. Inhale, bring the left knee away. Exhale, bring the left knee in. And now we're just going to switch side to side. We're just going to alternate. Right knee moves away, left knee moves away. Good. Bring both knees back into the chest. Use your abdominals. We're going to bring feet down to the mat. Good. We're going to go into bridge pose. So feet hip width apart, feet walk back towards your hips a little bit. We're going to lift into bridge with our breath. Inhale, with your exhale, press your waistline down into the mat. On your next inhale, lead with the tailbone and lift up nice and slow, one vertebra at a time. Good. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead, palms are up. So let the whole front of the body stretch, armpits open, belly soft, bottom slightly firm, knees parallel, feet pressing evenly into the floor. So the weight is even on right foot and left foot, on heel of the foot and ball of the foot. The toes are all touching the mat as you're taking nice, slow, long breaths into the low belly. Keep the hips up. Inhale, and with your exhale, just the arms come down by your side. Now keep the arms down. Inhale, and with your exhale, we're gonna lengthen and lower the spine. Once the hips are down on the mat, hug the knees into the chest. Good. And then we'll roll side to side. Good. Bring the knees to center. Let's move the right knee away. Bring the right knee in. Move the left knee away. Bring the left knee in. And now we're just gonna alternate. So right knee moves away, left knee moves away. Kind of they're working together. Working up, loosening, liberating those hips. Good, both knees come in. Use your abdominals. We're gonna bring feet down to the mat. Good, one at a time. Stretch the legs out. Let the front of the hips open. Let the back of the knees open. Let the arms be at your side, palms up. Tuck the shoulders under a little bit. Let the front of the body open up. The heart, the chest, everything relaxes. A couple nice breaths here. Nothing to do. Just let everything reset. Open. Be open to your abundance. Open to your transformation. Let's re-bend the knees, feet on the floor. We're going to roll over onto your side and then come up into hands and knees, table pose. We're going to have the wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, fingers are spread nice and wide, index fingers parallel to each other. We're going to go into our cat breath. So we'll exhale, round the spine up, tuck the chin, pull the belly up. Inhale, tilt the hips, arch the back. So just a few of these. Exhale when you round up. Inhale when you arch. Just see how the back is feeling. See how the shoulders are feeling. See how the hips are feeling. See how the neck is feeling. Nice slow inhales and exhales. Now bring a little free-form movement. So let the body move any way it wants to move. You can bend the elbows. You can stay rounded and breathe. You can stay arched and breathe. You can rock a little forward and back or a little side to side. Any kind of movement. Just keep breathing as you make your movement. Come to neutral. Let's shift back into child's pose. Just a couple of breaths. So I like to stack my hands on top of each other and then rest my forehead on the hands. But whatever's comfortable for you, maybe forehead all the way on the mat like this, maybe hands back by the feet with the palms up. Whatever feels good to the upper body and lower body for you, and breathe into the whole body. Breathe into the chest, into the belly, into the whole back body. Good. Stay in this child's pose, but come up to elbows. So kind of like a sphinx position for the arms. The shoulders are going to be right over the elbows, palms flat on the floor. And we're going to go into our little child's pose twist. So keep the left elbow, left palm down, and slide the right hand back, the right palm down on the floor, right palm in front of the right knee. And then we're going to press that right palm into the floor and inhale and lift that right shoulder and turn to the right. So a couple nice big breaths into the low belly as we go into this little child's pose twist. Good. On your next exhale, come down. Flatten out that right arm. So we'll keep right elbow down, right palm down. Slide the left palm in front of the left knee. We're going to press that left hand into the floor and inhale, lift the left shoulder and turn to the left. So a couple nice big breaths here into the low belly. Good. On your next exhale, we're going to turn and look at the mat. We're going to bring that left elbow down, left palm down. One more time. Shift or rest back into your child's pose. Wobble the hips and shoulders a little side to side. Good. Bring everything to center. We're going to go into a downward dog. Stretch the hands forward, as far forward as they'll go, so your elbows are up off the mat. Then come up into your hands and knees table. Bring the knees a little closer together. Take a look at the hands. Fingers spread nice and wide. Index fingers parallel to each other. Curl the toes under. Inhale, with your exhale, lift up and shift back into a downward dog. So tucking the chin a little bit. Let's walk it out. So one heel lowers, the other heel lowers, getting a nice stretch in the legs, in the spine. Good. Bring the heels level with each other and then drop down to knees. Shift back into child's pose. Wobble the hips and shoulders a little side to side. Just breathe into that back body. Bring everything to center. Come back up into hands and knees table. We're going to take 3 cat breaths. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Fingers spread nice and wide. Exhale, round the spine up. Inhale, arch. 2 more of those. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Last one. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Good. Come to neutral. We're going to go into a lunge pose. Right foot is going to come forward between the hands. Right knee over right heel. Left knee is going to scoot back as far as it will go behind the left hip. So we don't want that left knee in real close. We want to curl your left toes under and walk it back as far as it will go. So we get a nice stretch on this left, front of this left hip and the left thigh, and that right knee still over that right heel. Inhale, with your exhale, lean back, bow towards the right knee. So you can lift your right toes or they can stay down, whatever feels like it gives you the best stretch in the back of the right leg. Take a couple breaths here in this rounded position of the spine. And then we're going to move with breath. Inhale, come forward, chin lifts. Exhale, round back. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, leaning back. Last one. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, shift back. Good. And then we'll come forward. We're going to bring that right knee back by the left. Switch sides. Left foot comes forward. We want left knee over left heel. We want to scoot the right knee as far back as it will go behind from that right hip. So we get a nice stretch on the front of the right hip and that right thigh. Check that that left knee is over the left heel. Inhale, with your exhale, we're going to lean back and bow towards the left knee. So left toes can lift or they can stay down. We're tucking the chin. Take a few nice, long, slow breaths here into the back of this left leg. Now we'll take some movement and breath. Inhale, come forward, chin lifts. Exhale, shifting back, rounding the spine, tucking the chin. 2 more of those. Inhale, come forward, long spine, chin lifts. Exhale, shift back. 1 more. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, shifting back. Good. We're going to come forward. Bring the left knee back by the right. Come into hands and knees table. Wrists under the shoulders. Knees under the hips, 3 cat breaths. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. One more, exhale, round. Inhale, arch. And then shift back into child's pose. Just a couple breaths. Wobble hips and shoulders side to side. Come to center. We're going to lower all the way down onto our belly for Sphinx pose. So lowering down. We're going to have the elbows on the mat, palms on the mat, and we want the shoulders stacked over the elbows. Good. So we're going to keep those palms pressing into the floor and the elbows pressing into the floor, and isometrically pull the elbows back towards the hips as if you're trying to drag yourself forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and the neck is long. So keep pressing the hands and the elbows into the floor and keep isometrically pulling the elbows back towards your hips. Press the pubic bone down into the floor as you lengthen the spine. Big breaths into the low belly. Good. Exhale. We're going to lower down. Fold your arms. Rest your hands on top of each other. And then rest your forehead on the hands. Curl your toes under and press the heels away from you as the knees lift up. So a big stretch in the back of the legs. Good. Then bring the tops of the feet down to the mat. Widen the feet. So walk them out about as wide as the mat and let the heels fall in towards each other. So the toes pointing out, heels pointing in. I'm going to breathe into the low belly here. So it's a little different feel for our hips. Just trying to loosen up our hips, liberate the hips, transform the body. If this doesn't feel good with the heels in, then you can walk the feet in and let the heels fall out. That's kind of the way they normally go. But if it feels okay, let the hips take on this different shape, this different stretch to them. A couple big breaths into the low belly. Good. And then we're going to walk those feet back in. Slide the hands under the shoulders. Push yourself back into child's pose. Take a couple breaths in child's pose. If you like, wobble hips and shoulders a little side to side. That always feels good to me. But if it feels better for you just to stay in a stationary child's pose, go ahead and stay still. Make your way back up into hands and knees table. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to take 3 cat breaths. Exhale, round the spine up. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. One more. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Good. Come to neutral. Neutral spine, neutral neck. We're going to take a side plank variation. So from our table pose, keep your right hand where it is and your right knee where it is. And we're going to stretch the left leg back. Your left arch will be down towards the floor. Your left foot is going to be directly behind your right foot. Make sure that your right shoulder is over your right wrist. And when you're ready, we're going to lift the left hand up nice and slow. Good. Now I'm trying to lift up away from the mat, this right rib cage lifting up. I don't want to sink those right ribs and right hip down. Good. Couple breaths here. Transform. Liberate. Breathe. Good. Exhale, bring the left hand down, left knee down. Good. Just take a little free-form movement. And shift the hips a little side to side. You can round and arch, whatever you feel like your body might need. We're going to do that on the other side. So wrists are under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to keep the left hand down where it is, left knee down where it is. We're going to stretch the right leg back. The arch side of the right foot is down, and that right foot is directly behind the left foot. Make sure your left wrist is under your left shoulder. When you're ready, nice and slow, we're gonna lift that right hand up. Keep lifting the left ribs up away from the floor. We don't wanna sink that left hip and left rib side of the rib cage down. Big breaths. Tap into your abundance. Tap into all your possibilities. Tap into that breath. With your next exhale, bring the right hand down to the floor, the right knee down to the floor. A little free-form movement, so you can sway the hips side to side, you can round and arch. Very good. Shift back into child's pose, just a couple breaths. We'll breathe into that low back, breathe into the shoulders. Nice. From child's pose, we're going to take a downward dog. Stretch the hands as far forward as they'll go. Elbows up off the mat. Come up into your hands and knees table. Bring the knees a little closer together. Look at the hands, fingers spread nice and wide, index fingers parallel. So it's important the way the hands are because they're supporting your downward dog. They're the front part of the foundation of your pose. Curl your toes under. Inhale with your exhale, lift up, shift back. Good, nice downward dog. Tuck the chin. Make sure you're not looking forward. We want to look towards our knees or towards our toes or even towards our navel center so that the back of the neck is nice and long. Good, walk it out a little bit. One heel lowers, the other heel lowers. Good. Bring the heels even with each other. Walk the feet a little wider so they're almost as wide as the mat. And then come forward into plank pose, so shoulders over wrists. We want a little tuck of the tailbone, so our hips are not up in the air and we're not sagging here. We're lifting up between the shoulder blades, a little tuck of the tail, the belly button's pulling up towards the spine. We're gonna drop the heels to the right, bring them to center, drop the heels to the left, bring them to center, and just at your own pace, drop the heels to one side and then drop the heels to the other. The whole time you're moving the heels, we want those shoulders to stay over the wrists. So make sure your shoulders are not shifting forward or back from the wrists. Keep lifting up between the shoulder blades and keep pulling that belly button in and up. Bring the heels to center, drop down to knees, shift back into child's pose. Be a few wrist circles or wiggle the fingers. And then once you're in that child's pose, wobble the hips and shoulders a little side to side. Good, bring everything to center. So we're gonna take that same plank pose with the feet a little wide. You can stay with that. If you wanna just maybe stay in plank pose or downward dog, totally your choice. But what we're gonna try to transform that, right? We're gonna try to transform that into a side plank, okay? So let's start with, I'm gonna walk you through it. So let's start in our child's pose. Reach those hands as far forward as they'll go, elbows up off the mat. So that's gonna be the right distance for your torso, your upper body, and your arms. Then come up into your hands and knees. Knees can come a little closer together. Take a look at those hands, fingers spread nice and wide. Curl the toes under. Inhale with your exhale, lift up and shift back, downward dog. So you can stay right here. Good. If you want to go the next step, then widen those feet a little wider so they're almost out to the outside edges of the mat. And then inhale, come forward into that plank pose. So the feet are a little wide in our plank here. Good. And then we're going to drop the feet to the right. Make sure that right shoulder's over the right wrist, and then we're going to lift the left arm up. Now keep pulling the right rib cage up away from the floor. We don't want the hips to sink. We want to lift up away from the floor. Big breath, strong legs, pull the belly button in and up. On your next exhale, bring left hand down, come back into that wide leg plank. Now we're going to drop the heels to the left. Make sure left wrist is under left shoulder, and we'll lift the right hand up. Good. Pull the Left ribs up away from the floor. Belly button pulls in towards the spine. Big breaths. You're strong. You're doing this. On your next exhale, bring the right hand down. You're back into that wide leg plank. Now drop the knees down and shift back into child's pose. Oh yeah, a few wrist circles or wiggle the fingers. Let's wobble hips and shoulders a little side to side. Very nice. Let everything come back to normal, the breath, the energy. Good. Come up to hands and knees table. 3 cat breaths. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. 2 more. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. 1 more. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, arch the spine. Good. Come to neutral. Curl the toes under. We're going to walk the hands back till we're balancing on toes and fingertips. So we're going to go into a little twist. I'm going to turn to face you. So we're in this squat pose. So if squat pose is not good for your knees or your hips, you can bring the knees down and be sitting back on the heels, or you can come up into a high kneeling pose. Whatever you're doing, keep the toes curled under. That's just going to give a little stretch in those ankles and the arch of the foot. So whether you're high up on the knees, whether you're kind of sitting back on the calves, or whether the knees are lifted up, you're going to modify with that. We're going to go into a little twist. So the right hand's going to stay down. It can come back a little bit. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, we're going to turn to the right and bring your left elbow to your right thigh. And then try to balance and try to bring the right palm on top of the left, turning to the right. Breathing, focusing. Good, nice and slow. We're going to come out of that. Good, so you could be here, right? If you had those knees down and you're on the calves, you'd be here and you would turn. You're just not going to bring that left elbow down, okay? Or if you're up higher on the knees, you're going to be here. So we're just getting a little twist to happen in the body. All right, so if we're going to do the other side now, so you can be high up, you can have the knees down, or you can be all the way up like this. So if the knees are high up off the ground, then the left hand is going to come beside you or behind you a little bit. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhale, and we're going to turn to the left. So your right elbow is going to come to the left thigh, right palm is up, and then we're going to bring the left palm on top of the right. Good, hold here, breathe. Nice and slow, we're going to unwind, bring the fingertips down. If you had the knees lifted, go ahead and bring them down. Come back into your hands and knees table. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to exhale, round the spine up. Inhale, arch. Let's take 2 more of those. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Last one, exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Come to neutral. Curl the toes under. Walk the hands back till you're balancing on toes and fingertips. We're going into a standing forward fold. So lift the hips up, heels come down. Widen the feet a little wider than your hips. Bring the hands up to above the knees. Lift your chest into a halfway lift and squeeze shoulder blades together. Belly pulls in and up. Keep a little bend in the knees with strong legs and a long spine. We're going to hinge up. Very nice. Adjust the clothing. Shake it out a little bit. Let's take 3 sun breaths. So the feet going to be hip width apart. Pick up the toes, spread the toes, set the toes back down with some space. Engage the legs, so strong thighs, belly pulls in, belly zips up, arms at your side. We're going to inhale, hands come up. Exhale, hands down. Let's take 2 more of those. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. 1 more. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, hands down. Good, nice. Shake that out. We're going to take a wide leg stance on our mat. We're going to go into extended side stretch. So wide leg stance on your mat. Your feet are going to be 3 to 3.5 feet apart. Right toes are going to turn to the right. Left heel shifts back a little bit. And if we draw a line from the right heel, it's going to intersect with our left arch. Hips are level. Bend your right knee over the right heel. Your right knee is opening out towards the right pinky toes or towards that right edge of your mat. Let's have the left hand on the left hip. Inhale, right arm to shoulder level. Exhale, relax the right shoulder down. Inhale again. And as you exhale, we're going to lean to the right. Lean, lean, lean. So our right rib cage is long. And then we're going to keep the right arm straight. We're going to bring the right arm down. Palm's going to face forward. And your right arm is going to press against your right leg. So that's helping to open that right knee out towards the right pinky toe. It's helping to strengthen this inner right thigh and strengthen this right hip. So keep that little movement of that right arm against the right leg, and also the right leg kind of moving against the right arm. They're kind of working together to keep strength there. This left hand's still on your left hip. We're going to roll that left shoulder back. So make sure you're not turning towards the floor. We're opening that left shoulder, rotating the heart up towards the ceiling. And the left hand can stay on the left hip. It can reach straight up. It can reach over by the left ear. So see what feels good to your left shoulder. Keep that right arm moving against the right leg and the right leg moving against the right arm. Now think about your left foot. That left arch is lifting. So press on the outside edge of the left foot to lift that left arch and push that left knee, the back of the knee, the crease of the knee, move it back behind you so that left leg is really strong. Bring left hand to left hip if it's not already there. Strong legs. We're going to inhale and come up. Good. Straighten that right leg, parallel the feet. We're going to take all that in the opposite direction. So left toes turn out to the left. Right heel shifts back. If we draw a line from left heel, it intersects our right arch. Hips and shoulders face this long edge of the mat. We're going to bend the left knee over left heel. Keep that left knee opening out towards the left pinky toe. So we don't want that left knee and left hip moving in. We want it opening out. Right hand's going to be on the right hip. Inhale, left arm to shoulder level. Exhale, relax the left shoulder. Good. Inhale, as you exhale, lean to the left. That left rib cage is long. And then bring that left arm down. So keep that left arm straight. The left arm's going to press against the inner left thigh. And that left inner thigh is going to press against the left arm. Good. Right hand stays on the hip. We're going to roll this right shoulder back. So turning, a little bit of rotation up. Feel that right foot, right arch lifting. Press on the outside edge of the right foot. Now where do you want that right hand to be? It can stay on the hip. It can be straight up towards the ceiling. It can be over by your right ear. Keep that left arm and left leg pressing together. It's really strengthening that left leg, left hip. Now that right leg, make it long and strong. So you're pressing the back of the right thigh, right calf, back of the right knee away from you towards the back of the mat. Big breaths, belly pulls in and up. Strength. Good. And then that right hand will come to the right hip. Strong legs. Inhale, come up. Left leg straightens. Let's parallel the feet. Keep the feet wide. Feet are parallel. We're going to go into a wide leg forward fold. We're going to take that forward fold into a wide leg downward dog with some breath, with some movement. So we're hinging from the hips. We keep our spine long, our neck long. We're going to inhale, exhale, and hinge forward from the hips. Bring fingertips down to the floor. So adjust those feet. Maybe they want to go a little wider. Maybe you need to bend the knees in order to get the fingertips down. So see, whatever you need to do. Good. Now, if you've got fingertips down on the floor, that's great. If they won't get there, bend those knees as much as you need to get the fingertips to the floor. We're trying to keep the back long with a little nice curve in the low back. So if you find that your back is rounding through the upper back, through the lower back. That's not what we want. So either widen those feet, bend the knees, or come up to blocks, or come up to, you can even have a folding chair here. So if you're on your fingertips, good. If you can come down to palms, good. We're gonna walk the hands about a handprint forward, and then we're gonna come forward, shoulders over the wrists. Now here's that wide leg downward dog. Now we're gonna inhale. With your exhale, shift back. And then tuck the chin, bring the head in between the arms. We'll take 3 of those. Inhale, come forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, shifting back, tuck the chin. Inhale, come forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, shift back. One more. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, shifting back. Good. Now walk the hands back. Come up to fingertips if you're not already there. We're going to heel toe the feet in till the feet are just a little wider than the hips. Put a bend in the knee. Bring hands up above the knees. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Lift the chest into a halfway lift. Pull your belly button in and up to support your spine. With strong legs and a long spine, we're going to hinge up. Beautiful. Shake it out a little. Let's just bounce it out a little bit. Get that synovial fluid going. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs a little bit. Very good. We're going to go into chair pose. So chair pose, we're going to take it very specifically. So the feet are going to be about hip width apart. Let's start with our hands on our hips. And we're going to bend the knees, and your knees are not going to go past the toes. So the weight is going to be in the heels. Your toes are light. You can wiggle, lift your toes. So the knees do not go past your toes. Weight is in the heels. Hands on the hips. We're going to lift the heart. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Now drop the arms and reach the hands back behind you. So palms are facing each other. We're lifting, squeezing shoulder blades together. Belly pulls in, so the whole front of the body is long and nice and open. Good. Now, keep this openness in the front of the body. Keep those shoulder blades squeezing together, and just palms come together. So when palms come together, we don't round the shoulders, we don't crunch the front. We're still opening the front, shoulders squeezing together, and we're breathing. Toes are light, right? So the weight's still in the heels. This is great for these thighs, great for the hips, great for the low back. Okay, inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to turn to the right. So you can stay up nice and high like this. The weight's still in the heels. We haven't shifted the weight forward. We're still opening the heart up, so you can stay up nice and high, or you can lower down and bring that left elbow to the right thigh. If you bring that left elbow down, the weight is still in the heel, so that bottom sticking way back behind you. Nice and slow. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Drop the arms, shake it out. Very good. All right, we're going to do that on the left side. So feet hip width apart. So with this chair pose, anytime we bend the knees, even if it's just a very little bit, these thigh muscles engage, these quadricep muscles engage. So a lot of times there can be an error in chair pose where we try to get really low and the arms are up, the hands are forward because we're trying to get really low, and then we've kind of collapsed in the front of the body. The hands are way forward, and just none of that's helpful to us. None of that is transformative. None of that is going to take us to the next step in our yoga practice, in our posture, in the way we feel. It's over-efforting is what I see in a lot of those poses. So the way we're doing this chair very specifically, we keep the integrity in the body, we liberate the body, we transform so that we can breathe and feel really solid, and then take our yoga practice, take our life into that next phase, into that transformation. Okay, so enough all that lecture, right? So feet hip width apart. We're going to put a little bend in the knees. So look at those knees. They are not past the toes. Weight in the heels, arches lifting a little bit, toes light, they can wiggle. Start with hands on the hips and just lift and lengthen the front of the body. Good. Keep that weight in the heels. Now drop the arms by your side and reach the hands back. So we're squeezing shoulder blades together, palms face each other. Belly pulls in, belly zips up. Now keep this whole openness in the front of the body and just bring palms together. We're still squeezing shoulder blades together. We're still, toes are light, weight in the heels. Good. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly turn to your left. So that right elbow is kind of down, left elbow kind of up. Weight still in the heels, toes light. So you can stay nice and up here like this, or you can bend those knees a little bit more and bring right elbow to left thigh. If you do that, the toes still have to be light, the weight has to be in the heels, and that there's a nice long spine, right? So we're not rounding the spine, that bottom is sticking way back behind you. Nice and slow. Inhale, come up. Good. Drop the hands, shake it out. Excellent. All right. So the last standing pose we're going to do is very transformative. We're going to use it, we're going to visualize our transformation. We're going to visualize our liberation. So it's a wide leg stance on our mat. Toes are kind of angled out and the arches are lifting. We are going to go into a squat pose and we're going to pick up all the heavy stuff we've been carrying. So here's where you use that visualization. Here's where you use your imagination to help move you forward. So we're going to squat down. We're going to lift up whatever we're carrying. We're going to lift it up to heaven, up to the universe to transform for us. And then we're going to take the hands back behind the head or behind the shoulders, and we're going to push outward. So what we're doing is we're taking what we don't need, what we don't want, what we've been carrying that we want to let go of, we're lifting it up to the universe for the universe to transform for us back into love, goodness, whatever is going to be in your imagination, your visualization. And then we're going to take that, we'll bend the knees, and we're going to push it back out into the world, into our life. Okay, so let's try it. All right, so feet a little wide, toes pointing out, arches lifting. We're going to bend the knees. We're going to come down and we're going to gather up what we don't want anymore, and we're going to straighten the legs. We're going to lift it up. Good. And we're going to then cross the hands back behind, bend the knees, and push the palms out. Good. So we're going to inhale and squat down and lift up. And we're going to exhale, cross the hands, bend the knees, push it back out. Good. So inhale, scoop and lift, straighten the legs. Exhale, bend the knees, push it out. Good, 2 more of those. Inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, bend the knees, push it back out into life, into the world. Last one. Inhale, scoop down, lift it up to the universe. Straighten the legs, cross the arms, bend the knees, and push it back out, strength. Now stay here with the knees bent, the hands out, fingertips up. Good, knees wide, tail tucks a little bit, heart lifts. Good, couple breaths. Nice and slow, straighten the legs, drop the arms, heel toe the feet in. Good, shake it out. Separate the feet a little wider than the hips, and we'll take a few side swings. Let that opposite heel lift. Good. Let the belly pull in and up. Arms floppy, shoulders relaxed. Just letting everything settle down. Smooth out. Letting everything let go and liberate. Move where it needs to move. Good. Bring everything back to center. We're going to shake out the body. We're just going to shake up some energy, right? So shake out your right arm. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake out your left arm. Shake it, shake it, shake it, as if you're trying to get ants off your arm or bugs off your arm. Now shake out that right leg. Try to get stuff off it, whatever it is. Good. Let go. Shake it, get stuff off of you. Good. Now we're going to shake out arms and legs. Shake it out, shake it off. Try to get rid of everything. Just kind of go crazy here. Just get it all off. You don't need it anymore. And then nice and slow, stop. Stand tall and feel your energy. It's like, whoo, I can feel all my energy in my arms, my legs swirling. Breathe. Feel grounded through the feet. Good. And then we're gonna just brush off. Brush off the shoulders. Brush off the arms. Brush off the legs. Brush off anything that's sticking to you that you don't need anymore. Nice. We're gonna come all the way down onto the mat, onto our back. Good. Let's hug the knees into the chest, and we're gonna roll side to side. Good. Let the shoulders and hips roll. Nice. Bring everything to center. Use your abdominals. We're going to bring the feet down to the mat. Good. We're going to go into one twist before we go into our final relaxation. So bring your right ankle to your left knee like we did earlier. Right foot stays flexed. That right knee moves away from you. Arms at your side. And then we're just going to rock the hips a little side to side. So just feel that on the low back, on the hips, wherever you might feel it. Keep that right foot flexed, right knee moving away from the body. Good. Bring everything to center. Inhale. And with your exhale, we're going to bring that right knee over to the right, just as far as it will go. Palms are up. Both shoulders down on the mat. Breathe into the low belly. Let the heart open, let the chest open. Keep breathing. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly relaxes. Nice and slow. Inhale the knees back to center. We're going to bring the right foot down to the mat. Adjust hips and shoulders so you feel even on the mat. And then we'll do that on the other side. So left ankle to right knee, left foot flexed, left knee moves away from you. We're going to rock a little side to side. So put that on the lower back, the hips, thighs. Bring the knees to center. Keep that left foot flexed, left knee moving away from you. Inhale. With the exhale, we're going to bring the left knee over to the left just as far as it wants to go. Arms still at your side, palms up. Let the chest open, collarbones are nice and spread open. Big breaths into the low belly. Notice where you feel it. Make any little adjustments if you need to get a little more comfortable in the twist. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly relaxes. Nice and slow. Inhale, the knees back up. Let's bring the left foot down to the mat. Adjust hips and shoulders so you're even on the mat. Bring both knees into the chest. Good. Inhale, both knees move away an arm's length. Exhale, pull both knees back in. Inhale, knees move away. Exhale, knees move in. Couple more of these. Inhale, knees move away, you're opening. Exhale, knees move in. You're squeezing out all that used up air. Inhale, knees move away. Exhale, knees move in. Let's keep the knees in. And now let's alternate. So right knee moves away, left knee moves away. We're just going to alternate right and left. Bring the knees together. Use your abdominals. We're going to bring feet down to the floor. We're going to set up for final relaxation. So whatever might feel good for you, I'm going to stretch my legs out. Good. I'm going to have arms at my side, palms up. So just get comfortable for this final relaxation. Roll the shoulders down and under. Inhale, feel the belly rise. Exhale, feel the belly fall. Letting everything relax for a few breaths. Taking on stillness for a few breaths. Notice if there's anywhere in the body you're holding a little tightness, a little tension. If you find any areas, just breathe into that area, or sometimes simply just bringing your awareness to an area where you're holding will let it relax. So we've moved our body, we liberated it, the joints, the muscles, the fascia, we liberated it, we set it free, we transformed it, we used our visualization, we used our breath to help our energy transform and be open to this abundance, this all the prosperity, all the possibilities in our life, and we just keep that openness, keep that positive outlook, no matter how hard it is at times, just bringing some gratitude for some little things into mind will help to open up to your abundance, to your potential. Let's wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. We're going to bring both hands to the belly. So just let your hands rest on the belly. This is our center of presence. So being very present here on the mat. And when you get up off the mat and move into your next activity, be very present. So this is our center of presence. We're going to move both hands up to the heart center. It's our center of feeling. So feel the body, feel the breath, feel the energy, feel your awareness. Feeling it right here on the mat, and when you finish your practice and move off the mat, taking that center of feeling with you. Tune in to your center of feeling, trusting it. We're going to bring the palms together, and then we're going to bring the tips of the thumbs up to the third eye, the place between the eyebrows, our center of knowing. So tune into that center of knowing, trusting your instincts, trusting your inner guidance, inner wisdom. Feel that inner wisdom here on the mat and take it with you when you go about your next activity into the rest of your day. Good. And bring the arms back down by your side, palms up. Open up, let the palms receive. Receive all the abundance. Let it flow to you. One more time, we're going to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Let's bend the knees and roll over onto your side. And then use your strong arms, come up nice and slow, all the way up to seated. Sit however's comfortable for your legs. Tailbone moves back slightly, heart lifts slightly, belly pulls in and up. Shoulders relax down. Let's bring the palms together, thumbs at the heart. This ends our class today. Namaste. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Bye.